Sound.
If Joe Flacco is worth a 4th-round pick, Antonio Brown might be worth a negative 5th-round pick.
Again, I'm just a fat dude sitting on the couch, but I watch a lot of football.
I'm here to kick ass and make steaks, and I'm all out of steaks.
Year 1, he was like, all right, guys, I don't know what Dom taught you, but you need to have 11 guys on the field.
A trained orangutan could have done a better job than Ron Zerns. I mean, not even well trained.
Welcome, all you fans of Titletown Sound, to episode 251. That's 251 of Titletown Sound. I am. If you're anything like me, you're wondering what's this dude doing talking to start the show. This doesn't sound like Chris. It's not sexy sounding. It's not. It's not, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm James. I'm opening up the show this week because we are starting a new challenge. And as part of that challenge tonight, this week on Titletown Sound, Chris Christovko is going to give it his all and try to eat 5. You heard it right. 5 pork patties pressed into a rib shape on a hoagie roll with onions and pickles and a hickory-flavored barbecue sauce from a famous Irish barbecue chain. So we're going to let him get started on that, and I'm going to throw it over to Kevin, and Kevin's going to explain our new the new game there, the new segment that we got going on.
Yeah, so I think it's important that we announce that this game is here because Chris wanted an excuse to eat McRibs on air. So that's what we're doing this for. So Chris ordered 5 McRibs. He's got them by his side. He's going to attempt to eat all of them during our 1-hour show. If he can. Well, he's going to need to hit a certain amount. We haven't decided what that is yet. We'll see what the effort is.
No. I'm the benchmark. I'm the Duke.
Well, that's
Duke.
Certainly true.
He will definitely be the Duke in about an hour and a half.
I started. Well, keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Chris is the Duke. He's setting his pace as the Duke right now. We're going to see how he finishes the course of the night. If anybody ever wants to challenge the Duke and become the very own Duke of Rib, what? He's going to die.
I would like the record to reflect that he's halfway through one.
And he's
halfway through the first one.
There's a mere morsel remaining.
And he's already all about to fall over.
This is not the McRib. It's the COVID. I'm fine. Okay, but we have to establish that in high school. But we'll get to the Packers eventually, guys.
Okay, yeah.
In high school, I once ate 3 Duke of Rib sandwiches in one lunch period. I used to refer to it affectionately as triple duking,
which has a totally new connotation now. But yeah, that's that was a feat. That was a miracle of food consumption, and I think we're trying to bring back that glory.
Exactly. And I also was able to secure the website dukeofrib.com. So that's also behind this. So I'm
all 2 remotes. I like it.
Let's explain this so we can get into the actual show.
So Chris is going to eat during the show. We'll hear from him every once in a while. Chris just finished his first McRib, which means we're going to hear this.
McRib chomp.
Every time Chris finishes a McRib, that's our first time. So he's got 4 more.
I ordered these on the way home from work. So then I had to revive them in the oven.
Yeah.
My whole house smells like McRib potpourri. Ooh. My wife is angry. I'm thrilled.
That's amazing.
I mean, I feel like this Glade is missing an opportunity to make like one of those plugins, like Glade McRib.
That's a great idea, James. So to finish off the Duke of Rib discussion, right? If you have a challenge that you think is worthy of defeating whatever Chris's final number is here, it doesn't have to be rib sandwiches. It's going to be something that you want to consume, and we'll figure out a equal amount. And if you can do that,
if you were like, I could eat 2 pans of Rice Krispie treats, I'd be like, all right, Kevin, but let the listeners try first. But it's up to you to invent an eating challenge, and then if we like it, we'll let you on the show. For our amusement, you could just sit in the bottom corner of the show doing your eating challenge. And if we believe that you have overcome, that your feat was greater than whatever vomit I do tonight, then you will become the Duke of Rib and all the responsibilities it entails.
And the golden sweatpants.
And then going forward, each individual challenger will try to outdo the previous Duke. And, it's going to be wonderful.
Bonus points for Packers themed food, though not necessary. But you'll also have to sign a waiver, and you will win nothing other than our admiration.
The title.
Right. You will be. Yeah. I mean, you can even change your Twitter handle to TTSO Serb or Madam of Duke.
This isn't the Madam of Rib, although women are encouraged to apply. However, you will be the Duke of Rib. You will not be the Madam of Rib.
No, there's just
It's not. It has nothing to do with gender here.
Available. But anyway, let's talk about the Packers and Eagles.
Yeah, let's talk about the Packers and Eagles. That was a fun game, right?
I guess.
Especially living in the Philadelphia region. I said, only half joking, that if the Packers lost the game, I was going to Parlor. And I don't think I would have been on Facebook for another several days had they lost. But with that said, what a good performance. But I want to know, the one question I have up at the top of this show is, if you're one of those people that's pissed off that the Eagles made it close for about 9 seconds, how do you watch sports and enjoy it ever? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? A little bit. Did it make me a little bit apprehensive? Maybe a little, but it never felt to me like the game was out of reach. Like and again, like you just said, if how you have to expect these things to happen, and when they do, you can't. If you overreact and freak out, then you don't enjoy life very much.
And it's natural too when a team has a guy that you're preparing against, and then he comes out and a new guy.
The first down.
Hang on? Are we gonna get another soundbite here? A little.
Not yet.
You're not done. Okay, I thought you were done.
I am starting strong, though. I know that much. I know.
Well, you started strong, and that's okay. You have a few minutes.
To more tortoise than hair.
You have to pace yourself. That's the key to these things. You have to pace. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Well, in Chris's case, he can do whatever he wants because he said it. He is the pace maker, so to speak. We will need a pacemaker as well.
That was really well done. I am impressed.
At the end of the night, I shall be the Duke of Rib, mainly because, again, I bought the website. But after tonight, anyone that wants to challenge us, they could,
Yeah. Football. We were talking about football, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. So, what a night. Aaron Rodgers and Devante Adams. What a man. If Aaron Rodgers, to me, is the MVP of the league right now. If number 2, we have a deuce on the Duke of Rib.
Woo. First one,
second one,
relatively easy. So far, both enjoyable. I have a feeling at about pie, like about 3.14 McRibs, they'll start to be uncomfortable.
That could be a challenge. You could do McDonald's pies, but you're going to want to sign that waiver because your mouth will be messed up.
Oof.
So, yeah. Like a praying mantis over there.
If you're not watching on YouTube this week, you are missing out, everybody.
I'm beginning to realize the impact this is going to have, not just now, but later. And, luckily I do have Grass X in the house.
Do you have a defibrillator in the house? That might be more.
In the living room. My wife is going to be, because this Dutch oven could kill a person. Anyway, Okay, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers' performance because I tried to segue from stuffing my face full of pork products. You were saying you think he's the MVP right now.
I do think he's the MVP of the league right now. I think it's a two-horse race between him and Mahomes. Speaking of horse, how's that McRib going? Anyway, it's him and Mahomes, and I wouldn't be mad if Mahomes got it because I think Mahomes he's an incredible player, and his stats bear that out. But Aaron Rodgers does not have a Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have a Travis Kelce. He doesn't have, a lot of these weapons. He has Devante Adams and he has Aaron Jones, and then he has some.
Those are significant weapons, though.
They are. But I mean, I don't know. To me, Aaron Rodgers' numbers are better too. So not by much, very very slim margin, but a little bit. But this game, Aaron Rodgers was in full command from beginning to end, except for the time that Lucas Patrick forgot to block a guy, and Rodgers got sacked. But yeah, I mean, that was just him and Devante, him getting that 400th touchdown. I think it's super cool that Devante Adams was the recipient of both 200 and 400, not in the same game. That'd be a record, but like of Aaron Rodgers' career. I think that's pretty awesome.
Did you notice that on that drive, Adams had like 42 targets in the red zone?
That was insane. But people have always talked about getting a big receiver, a big tight end as a red zone target. I think one thing that Devante Adams has proven this year is that he is the red zone target. Like, you don't need when he can climb the ladder like he does, when he can fight for balls like that. I mean, that one catch he made was absolutely insane. An insane catch and an insane throw. And you're not going to get that on many other teams. It's just not, you don't have the talent like that.
Yeah, first of all, the balls to go for that play call at your own 1 yard line, inside your own 1 yard line, and then the throw was the only place he could have put it, and that catch, insane. Speaking of insane, how's number 3?
Yeah, he's still breathing, so that's a good sign from what I know about the human body.
I got to tell myself, I'm only 11 minutes and 24 seconds into this, and I'm halfway to my goal. Now, it's the easier half from what I understand.
So what you're saying is that you should DoorDash yourself a few more McRibs. That's what I'm hearing.
Of course, yeah.
Just in case.
Some backups.
Well, I mean, what's worse than eating 5 McRibs? Having room left where you could have eaten a 6th.
That's a good point. No regrets.
So, Rodgers, by the way, I have to keep this hand barbecue sauce free or mouse operation. Aaron Rodgers was 25 for 34 for 295 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, a quarterback rating of 128.9 on that ridiculous scale. Why couldn't they have just divided it by something so it could be a 100-point scale? Anyway, that's an amazing night. And Devante Adams, holy hell. 12 targets, 10 receptions on 12 targets for 121 yards, and just 2 touchdowns. Just what a night. These guys are special, and I think that connection for me is I don't know. Go back through the Brett Favre years, and this might be the best one. Yeah.
I think so. Favre had Sharp. And and at the end of his career, Driver, and I think those guys really connected, and Antonio Freeman too. Sure. And then Rodgers had Jordy and Randall Cobb and James Jones, but I think Devante Adams is far and away the best out of all of those, except for maybe Sterling Sharp, and that's pretty close. So this is a special tandem we have here, and I think. I don't know how, however much longer we have Aaron Rodgers for, I think it's something that we need to be more appreciative of going forward. Because again, like you said, we could have Big Dick Nick and Allen Robinson, but we don't. We have Rodgers
or we could also have, we could have Jalen Hurts coming in off the bench because our quarterback is Carson Wentz, who is not only pretty terrible, but also is as fragile as like a paper doll. Kevin, is there any pride in sending Carson Wentz to the bench now that the Eagles today have named Jalen Hurts as their starter going forward?
No, I mean that team is
That's 3.
Yeah, that team's kind of a disaster right now. So I don't think it really. I mean, I don't think it really means anything in terms of like, oh, we knocked him out. Like he kind of knocked himself out several weeks ago.
What happened to Carson Wentz, or was he never that good to begin with? I mean, he's been atrocious recently.
He was. He was good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was ever this bad, obviously, but like it's been not good, not good. So I don't know. Do we talk about Aaron Jones and his contract or his need for a contract?
I mean, we haven't talked about it tonight, but we've talked about it in general. Why do you bring that up?
Well, because we talked about it before, but like, what about Devante Adams' contract? Right, he's going to be coming up at the end of 2021. So is he going to be the highest paid receiver in the league?
Yeah, absolutely, and the Packers will pay him. I don't have any doubts there. Well, here's the thing, and it actually works out very well. if Aaron Rodgers is who we think he is, and there's nothing to suggest that his performance in the first, 12 games of the season are an aberration, then we may never see Jordan Love as a starting quarterback with the Green Bay Packers unless it's in his second contract, which I would be very surprised at, right? He's going to want to start. That's very possible. And if that's the case, if they know that they're going to have to ride Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years and then accept a mediocre quarterback, which is fine, that's a fine way to, strategy to deal with this, then they're going to sign Devante Adams no matter what. And if only because if they've made a mistake with Aaron Rodgers, at least they've got a big name that'll keep filling seats. And I don't mean that to be, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, cynical, but I think that's a lock. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think they would be foolish, extremely foolish to let Devante Adams walk. I don't know what they're going to do. The salary cap at this point, it is a myth. I say it on Twitter. It is. The Chiefs have signed like 1,000 players to ridiculous contracts because they're able to work their. Russ Ball will do the same thing. I'm not worried about it. I'm more worried about keeping Aaron Jones at the end of this year than I am Devante Adams at the end of next year.
But that's I think like if the plan is to keep Adams, maybe the plan is not to keep Jones as well. I'm just because you can't have the highest paid skill position everywhere.
That's true.
Like regardless of whether or not the salary cap is a myth or not, like you can't have that.
That's true.
At some point, the myth becomes something of a reality. Yeah.
Yeah, I
want to transition because I got a mouthful of McRib.
Yeah, he's so we mentioned it before, but the defense, I thought they played really well for about 75% of the game. They had that fourth quarter weird meltdown for a drive, but they got after Wentz. Granted, the Eagles offensive line is basically made up of mannequins and donuts at this point, but
mannequins accidentally get in the way, so I don't think that's really fair.
Right. They pressured Wentz, I think 10 or 12 times, and they sacked him 7. I forget how many.
He was sacked 4 times.
That's it?
Yeah. They might have sacked Hurts a couple of times, but Wentz was sacked 4 times.
It felt like he was being sacked every other down.
But he only played a half, right? Like
that's true.
He wasn't even in for the whole game, so
that's true. And so I thought the pass rush looked really, really good. The Smith brothers did well. There were a couple of really well drawn up safety blitzes that I liked. Darnell Savage almost got a sack. It was nice. The run defense continues to be a huge, massive issue, but that's, if you can mitigate that as long as you sack the quarterback a bunch.
Yeah, you can mitigate that also if you're making the other team play from behind, but can't always rely on that. So that's a little troublesome. But overall, I really did think they look good. And this offense, Kevin, if the O-line can keep playing well, it's going to be tough to stop this team.
Yeah, the offense has looked good. I feel like a couple of times there were some drives that kind of just like didn't go anywhere. That kind of they could have really put a hammer in the game and they just didn't. So I'd like to see. I guess it's kind of with the hiccups late in the game. I guess it kind of ties into that a little bit. Oh, geez. with the vomit in our mouth.
Do not say things like that. I do not want to puke live on Facebook and YouTube.
Who gives a crap? No one's listening. Yeah. So, yeah. If they can, I think for me, like you win by 14 in the NFL. That's a good win, regardless, irregardless, if you will. But sometimes it felt like we took the foot off the gas when we wanted to keep it on.
That reminds me, I had a 7-team parlay this week, and I hit 6 of the 7 legs of that parlay. And the one leg that I missed, James and Kevin, was I had Seattle on the money line against New York. Not even with the spread, but on the money line, and they lost. You know how much value that added to my bet? Maybe 8 cents, and it cost me the whole thing. It was only a $5 bet, but still. I need a burp. I could get a burp going here. I would create enough space. I could definitely fit four.
You should go get Amanda to burp you.
Just sling you over her shoulder and start pounding on your back.
Really have at it. Yeah. I've been burped before as an adult. It really helps.
I've had my children do it.
Yeah, I burp myself sometimes.
All right.
I think maybe this is too much information. So
back to the Packers.
So we're still talking defense because I'm wondering, like, what can be done? I mean, what can be done for those gaping holes you see in the run game? Is it all personnel? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like you should have enough bodies to fill those gaps. Is it scheme? Is it execution? Is it all of those things? Because that is frustrating to see this really talented team have such an Achilles heel.
You have Kenny Clark who's taken up double teams almost every single down, especially the rushing downs. So he's got two guys blocking him, and then you have Lowry and Lancaster or Lowry and whoever, in there, and they're just if you watch their base formation, just look at how spread apart they are. They're predicated to stop the pass. I'm beginning to think that Mike Pettin generally does not give any hoots about stopping the run. I just really think he doesn't. I think he feels like as long as you can stop the pass, they can run all day. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
But we kind of talked about that's kind of how the team is built, right? Because if you're up by 14 in the fourth quarter and they can only run the ball and you've got Aaron Rodgers, then that's cool. Like onside kicks aren't even a thing anymore, really.
But it feels like it's an unnecessary weakness to allow. Like, okay, I get it. You're not going to be able to be 100% all the way around the ball because you have one of the greatest offenses in the game. But that doesn't mean that I have to allow a gaping problem because they're doing this on they're playing 3rd and 4. They're playing 9, 10, 12 yards off the ball. God, I'd love that if teams played like that against the Packers.
Yeah, but you play 9. Yes, like that's frustrating in the time, right? But it's more frustrating if you're jamming the guys at the line and they beat you and score a 60-yard touchdown. With this offense that you have, if they get 40, 50 yards and kick a field goal.
Ooh, that's 4.
Good. I think you need a water refill there.
Okay. So I'm going to go back and get a beverage. That was my goal. I think it's now respectable that I've gotten to 4. Not respect. I mean, you know what I mean. Respectable. It's at least a challenge. If I eat the 5th one, I'm going to have to lie to my wife. If I eat the 5th one, anyone who's listening or watching, don't tell her that it, please, because I'll probably die too. So, I'll be right back. I'll get another iced tea. Cover for me, guys. I'm getting an iced tea.
Yeah, sure.
So,
James, talk.
I can do that. Justin Lehman made a really good point in the group chat there with Pettin playing more press man. He did, and it was very nice because the Packers have the secondary to handle a press man scheme. Jair Alexander had an amazing game, a couple pass breakups, some really good tackles, nice play. Kevin King did all right, but the personnel is there to play press man and then just trust your pass rush to get after the quarterback. So Kevin, I don't know if you heard this, but it came out after the game that Mike Pettin went to a more press man scheme because Preston and Zadarius Smith and I think Rashawn Gary came to him and basically begged him to do it. Why should your players have to come to you and tell you what the strength of your team is? That bothers me. Should that bother me? It bothers me.
Well, I mean, I get it. I get why it bothers you, but also the players want to do their thing, right? But the coach also they've got their own idea of what's going on. I think one of the reasons too, sometimes you don't do everything that you want is because there's no need to go full out like that against the Eagles if you can run other defenses.
True.
And still win the game. I think that's one thing that the Packers do a lot is they don't really do a lot of fancy stuff once they're up. It's just kind of bare bones, take some time off the clock and you get your yards. But they're not really running a lot of exotic defenses when they're up by 20 points. And I think that's maybe a little bit by design too.
Right. And I think that drive, the drive that when Jalen Hurts came in and they ended up scoring the touchdown, other than the touchdown play, because that was 4th and forever. I can kind of understand some confusion because Jalen Hurts isn't Carson Wentz. He's mobile. He can move. He's going to be a good quarterback. So
I feel like the Packers have always had issues in this type of situation. Like a mobile quarterback that doesn't have a lot of playing experience comes in, and
also I think you get that natural boost. You get that natural, like, players want to play for the new kid too. I mean,
yeah, So I didn't really fault them too much for giving up that touchdown, other than the fact that it was 4th and I think 18 when they got it. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. But other than that,
so did you guys talk about special teams while I was getting my beverage? Because I wish I weren't here for that. Talk about vomit inducing. What the hell? Like, why can't this Packers team ever figure out special teams? I mean, it's not. I mean, am I wrong? It's not that hard, right?
We're on our 3rd coordinator in the last 7 years, and they still can't do things right. I don't understand. So, stat of the week that I saw, there have been 4 punt return touchdowns in the NFL all year, and the Packers have given up 2 of them. How do you, as a special teams coordinator, still have a job on Monday morning? I don't get it. It's so frustrating.
I don't know what to talk about with this because it is so frustrating because it feels like it's every year, and it's not like when you're watching a defensive scheme and you can see, oh, this is what I don't like, or what I think they should change. On special teams, like, tackle a guy. I don't get it. I don't get what the problem is. Is it sloppy play? Is it? I don't know, because this isn't happening on every team. You can't blame it on the shortened preseason or the lack of tackling or the lack of padding, because this just isn't happening on other teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lack of gap integrity on punts. J.K. Scott, guys, I hate to say this.
After this 5th rib, I'm going to have a lot of lack of gap integrity.
Yeah. James, I know where you're going with this. Go for it.
Yeah, I think J.K. Scott might have been drafted around too high.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He might have been drafted a league too high.
He's so frustratingly inconsistent with his punts. LaFleur came out yesterday and said that that whole punt return touchdown was because he punted to the wrong side of the damn field. They had it set up to go on the other side, and he punted. It was an off-target punt. It's just so frustrating.
Wow, that is frustrating. Well, again, we end up kind of defaulting to the negative. Overall, this team is in great shape. None of us had them at 9-3, and none of us thought they would be this good. There are big problems, there are big weaknesses, but I don't know that there's a team that doesn't have a big weakness. And you would have said before last week, the Steelers, but they lost to the Washington football team, for crying out loud. So, no team is perfect. And
the
remember
Steelers defense has lost a bunch.
Yeah,
a bunch of guys. Oof.
And remember when you're watching these games and when you see scores like the Giants beating the Seahawks, do you instantly think the Seahawks are terrible? No, you think they had a terrible game. It's like Packers fans internalize those losses, especially bad losses, and think they're embarrassed in the rest. But the rest of the league is laughing at them. No one cares. We understand that there are fluctuations any given Sunday, blah 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 blah, and all that good stuff. But it's just frustrating to see Packers fans who are focusing still on the fact that they had one rough drive, maybe 2. And it's silly to watch a game like that.
Right. Here.
I watch the game with clown makeup on. I feel like that's a silly way to watch the game.
I watch it through a kaleidoscope. Right.
So let's it's just about time to go to break, I think. Let's go to break. And before we do, though, if you want to help support the show, one way you can do that financially is patreon.com/TTSO, where you can give us a donation. I got a big old McRib bubble right here, so I'm going to talk about that. So, Kevin, why don't you talk about our OG patrons? Oh, my God, I feel intoxicated.
Okay, yeah. So I don't have anything clever for our OG patrons this week because work kicked my ass today. So I will mention our OG patrons. We have Scott Neer, Jason Hicks, Milo Meadsong, Jeff Augustine, Chris Corsmo.
Wait, let's start over.
We have Scott Neer,
Chomp,
Jason Hicks,
Chomp.
Milo Mead Song,
Chomp.
Jeff Augustine,
Chomp. Extra classy.
Chris Corsmo,
Chomp. That was like, I don't know, zesty.
James Hamlin.
Chomp. All business. James Hamlin, all business. Chomp.
What you guys don't know is that these 6 were the original inspiration for the Chicken McNugget 6-pack.
I've always wondered why it came in 6. Now I know.
And if
They
you know
walked in together.
shapes of the nuggets, they're roughly based on our OG patrons.
That's, yeah, yes, most of our patrons are anamorphous blobs. So
All of our hosts are.
Oh boy, guys.
Are you doing okay over there?
Yeah. One thing, it's a little easier than I expected, which is kind of alarming. It's not easy per se, but it's hitting me right now.
Well, you have some time during the commercial when you run that to really do some damage.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Why
go
don't-
throw a leak during the commercial.
Why don't I just play the? Oh boy, this is a bad idea. Next time, choose an eating challenge that's not so high in sodium, guys. That's just a general recommendation for everyone.
Zesty barbecue sauce.
Hickory smoke. Taste the hickory. We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Cuban Q.
God willing. Did you know that you can help support our show financially without any additional cost to you? Well, if you use Amazon, and let's face it, who doesn't? You can go through our Amazon affiliate link, and we'll get a small portion of the proceeds. You pay nothing extra, and you still get your awesome stuff delivered in like 2 days. So go to www.titletownsoundoff.com/Amazon and just order like you normally would, and you help the show. That's www.titletownsoundoff.com/Amazon. Happy shopping.
If you would like to support the show and help others find it, give us a review and a rating. Go to Apple Podcasts and write something nice and give us 5 stars. Thanks.
Welcome back, Packers fans. Untitled Chapter Podcast, episode 251, where we're trying not to puke. James, talk about our Hall of Fame patrons.
All right, so we have Paul Goldsack, Kyle Turpinning, DJ Lightfoot, Will Zine Savage, and Michael James Crowder. And what you might not know about all of them is that they all fit in one Grimace costume.
Everybody in labor.
So funny, interesting thing about mascot costumes. When I used to work in the formal wear industry, every once in a while we'd have somebody from an amusement park come in and they would need to get fitted for their amusement park costume. And like they didn't leave much to the imagination, the stuff that they need. Maybe it was just a ploy. No, it wasn't. They really needed costumes. But like stuff that you would never measure for like a tuxedo, you would have to measure for this. It was kind of fun. But not like that way where it was kind of like, it was just like interesting. It was like, you know, in the tuxedo industry, nothing interesting really happens. So, except for the time that I fitted Jim Kleinsaucer's brother. No big deal, guys. Remember former Vikings fullback Jim Kleinsaucer?
His brother?
His brother, yeah.
That is impressive, Kev. Is that on your resume? It should be.
It is. It is.
Nice.
You would have needed 2 tape measures for Nick Foles.
I have 26 minutes left, and I would take the under. I mean, the over on finishing. I don't know. I would not bet on me right now.
That's like
entering
3 bites. You can do it.
Have you started sweating yet?
Yeah, there's sweat.
Just cram it in the hole.
Oh God, that thought, thinking about that makes me vomit.
Episode 251, cram in the hole.
Well, we don't want him to do that, James. We want him to.
Oh, you're right.
Because we want him to be the Duke of Rib. We
I
want
am the
challenge.
Duke. At this point, I've gotten 4.5 ish. Half.
4.5?
4.5. He's on.
That's your last-
That's his last one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That is okay. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're listening to this, what you're missing is the look of genuine concern in Kevin's eyes right now.
Well,
He is worried about his brother.
I did not expect to get to a quadruple Duke, let alone near a quintuple Duke situation.
I quad duked with ease, Kev. That was relatively easy. The 5th Duke is, I think Tom Petty said it best. The 5th Duke is the hardest part.
I thought it was going to be free duking.
Oh, I will be later. Oh, it's good.
Bring out the rubber sheets.
I might have to call it at work sick because I could kill people. We have a small office without a lot of ventilation.
They
All
died
right.
because of hickory.
All right, who are the Packers?
parts.
James,
What?
who do the Packers play this week?
The Detroit Lions. They played the Detroit Lions.
Who's going to win?
I'll tell you who's not going to win. Your toilet. Wouldn't it be cool if this is like the Flintstones and it was like a pelican toilet? Anyway,
I think this guy would run down the hallway and I would run past the same table 5 times. And then I would get to the pelican toilet.
Did James just say it would be cool to defecate into a pelican's mouth?
I just remember in the Flintstones, I remember there was one specific episode where the toilet was a pelican.
I just snot bubbled.
It was barbecue snot.
This is not my best night.
So yeah, we play the Lions on
That's
Sunday. We got the meathead, we have the child abuser, and then they have some other guys as well. So that should be fun.
What do we need to know about this? I mean, is the Lions offense anything worth worrying about?
They're not terrible. They're not great, but they're not. You know, Matt Stafford is. We call him meathead. We make fun of him all the time, but he is a decent quarterback, and I'm not sure who he's going to have playing wide receiver because half his guys are always hurt. They have a brand new head coach. This will be his second game. Coming off a last minute upset of the Bears last week, which isn't really an upset when you think about it because it's the Bears. But
I think I just had a palpitation.
That's
we're good.
good. That's your system working it through. You're good.
I'm
James,
a little concerned. I'm worried for your welfare right now.
Barbecue
yeah,
sauce.
really. Maybe. Ooh, one burp and I'm good. One burp and I'll be able to finish. That's what I need.
You need a burper. That's fair.
I'm gonna wiggle a little bit here.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
a good idea. Babies do that.
Don't those guys they work that?
Yeah, they're.
See that? You know what? I'm gonna hide my screen real quick.
I think they're like settling their food like you would perhaps like when you go to like a Lego store and you get to pick a brick and you try to like shake it down.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's a good strategy.
Oh boy,
You might make enough room for a sixth.
I have different dimensions than when I started. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh boy, guys.
You'll be fine.
No surrender. Yeah, I'm sure this isn't doing any lasting damage.
There you go. That was
Little
good.
space. That's a bite, but I need to do that like 4 more times.
That's it, yeah.
This is daunting. And I'm not even getting anything for this. Why am I doing this
It's
again?
the title Duke of Rib.
What do you
Because we
mean?
have a website.
I could have done that anytime. They don't have to really do this. It's my podcast. I could have faked it.
You gave the gift of commerce to several teenage people working at a fast food chain.
You ever had to order? So I ordered. That brings up a good point. I ordered.
Can we take one step back? You suggesting you faking this? Are you suggesting 5 prop McRibs? What's going on?
No, I'm saying if I was smart, I would have faked.
Gotcha.
I would have just, you guys would have been in on it, and then we would all laughed all the way to.
And then you dump it behind you.
No, wait. So my order was 5 McRibs, a warm-up cheeseburger, a medium fry, which was for my wife, and I had a coupon, and a medium Diet Coke, which I think is extra funny because a large costs the same as a medium. But I'm like, no, I'm watching my weight. Give me that medium Diet Coke.
You know the chemicals that are in that Diet Coke?
That was a robust bite.
Is anybody watching anymore? That's what I want to know. There hasn't been a comment in the thing in a while, and
I think they're all concerned.
Disturbed.
They've all dialed 9-1 and they're waiting.
If anybody out there's watching, just throw a comment out, just so I know that this isn't Chris dying is not in vain.
Oh boy!
So you know what, guys? I do have to say, when we do the podcast, sometimes we get some really good ideas, and then other times we get ideas like this. But I stand behind it 100%.
This idea might have happened late at night while we were playing Rocket League.
Now, if you
everybody's watching. If you want to play Rocket League with the backwards, just guys, it's not in vain.
It's not in vain.
Nick Mahan is here, which reminds me, gentlemen, we should talk about the fact real quick. We're going to mention that we are going to be on his podcast. He was on last week to talk about attending a football game in like a socially distant setting. We're going to be on his movie review podcast. I knew I was supposed to write this down. Hang on.
Are we going to eat brownies?
It's brown. No, it's brown. See, I figured it out because I'm relatively smart. His co-host is, I believe his last name is Brown. So it is, Brownie Points. I was going to say Brownie Bites because I'm a fat ass. But it's Brownie Points Guide to Cinema. I swear to God, it's only because I'm fat. I said I was going to, oh my God. I could eat a brownie bite though, just for what if I ate an intervening food?
Ooh, like a palate cleanser?
Yes. Oh, gentlemen, hold on, I'll be back.
Yeah, get a Big Mac. Back. So somebody asked how many he's at. He's at 4.8 at this point. He's working up the gumption to finish.
So me and you, James, I'm kind of disturbed by it actually.
He really went to town on the first 4. Like he.
Yeah, like they owed him money or something. It's weird.
I've been morbidly obese my whole entire life, and I don't think I've ever eaten that much McDonald's that quickly with that much gusto.
With the gusto, that's a good point. Now he's sweating an awful lot and taking in a lot of sodium. How do you think all that loss of liquids is going to affect him in the morning?
I think he's going to pee, and it's going to be bright orange. What is he eating?
A couple of Pop'ems there for our intrepid host.
All right. That was a bad idea.
Is that a sweet? You went with sweet, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I would have went with like mentholyptus.
Was that a donut? Was it a jelly?
Did you fill this person in?
Your last one. We told him.
We did. We filled him in. 4.8.
This is what's remaining. So to catch everybody up, I just very intelligently had 2 donut bites to cleanse the palate.
I mean, diabetes, it doesn't come on that quickly.
There was this time in college that I drank so much Absolute Citron that I could never drink it again.
Well, you're never going to eat 5 McRibs again. But
did you just kill your love for the McRib tonight?
We'll find out. We'll really know tomorrow. I feel like we haven't talked about a whole lot of football this show. I mean, I'm okay with that. I just don't know if our public will be.
We spent a good 20 minutes on the Eagles game and another 30 seconds on the Lions, so we're good to go.
Yeah, what else do we talk about with the Lions? They're terrible.
They're bad.
This here, 31st in points allowed. That's not good, guys. That's almost the worst. Boom. Analyzed.
The analysis. All right. What else should we talk about?
The Packers are first in points in the league. So, that could be a fun game.
Oh, I like strength against weakness. So what you're saying is the Packers will score 70.
At least 69, dudes.
69, dudes!
Nice.
Silky smooth.
69!
Nice.
All right, so David Bakhtiari's 69 of the week, in no way sponsored or supported by David Bakhtiari. 69 of the week it's not a natural this week, but if you take Aaron Jones receiving yardage average, like average per reception, you put that in the tens spot.
What?
You put it in the tens spot. Work with me here.
I feel like I'm helping my fourth grader with math.
Then you put his long reception yardage in the ones spot. You guys have any idea what you get?
It's got. I mean, if it's not 69, then what are we doing here?
69, dudes!
Oh boy!
I mean, yes.
If I were on Tinder, that would be my little motto. If it's not 69, what are we doing here?
It's a valid point, James.
Here, listen to this informative voicemail.
Hey, all, Gabe here, calling after the victory over the Eagles, 30-16. I got to tell you, it was a slight heart attack for me again at the end there with the defense, of course, under the brakes, and of course the special teams. Oh my goodness! But of course, who came to the rescue? Aaron Jones, baby. Gotta give it to him. Gotta give it to him. But anyway, and congratulations to Aaron Rodgers for achieving 400 touchdowns. That's pretty much all I have for this evening. On to the next. The Detroit Lions. Good night. God bless. And
left blinker.
Okay. So I got to be honest.
Yeah,
we were counting down the time it took for the ending, but then the blinker came on and it reset the clock.
It was a good call. It was a strong
call.
Okay. Very strong.
That was a great call. Nice work, Gabe. And I don't think we give Gabe enough credit for discovering Aaron Jones. I really don't. He was our Southeast Texas.
So, that's a really good point. If you found our show in the last, how long has Aaron Jones been on the team?
4 years.
Right. In the last 4 years, Gabe, our introduction to Gabe was Gabe calling us every week and telling us the Packers should draft this guy, Aaron Jones. And every time we kind of, look, yeah, of all the people in the world, they're going to draft Aaron Jones. And I'm sure he's that good because, he goes to the school down the street from you. So I'll be damned, though. I'll be damned.
Gabe was right on, man. Right on. It's impressive. Aaron Jones, if you get wind of this, Aaron Jones, whatever your next contract is, you owe a chunk to Gabe.
Don't say chunk right now.
Well, you owe a slippery
Don't
chunk.
blow it all.
Oh boy, guys! I've got about 12 minutes or whenever the show ends, so we could do a 3-hour extravaganza. But
You guys remember that player Bobby Hurley?
What about the Rocket Ishmael? Remember him? He was good. Hey, what was Najee Davenport known for? No? Okay.
With a full mouth, he can't really even defend himself, so it's not fair. We have to give him the benefit of the doubt because that's expensive equipment to clean up after.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, I think we should we need to do
also, my desk is carpeted, which makes it more fun.
It's time to do our game.
Hold on. James gave me a look because I said my desk is carpeted, which I know sounds ridiculous, but this room is just for the podcast, so I carpeted it to dampen the sound.
A mirror on the ceiling in that room.
Carpet tile. Like I didn't call a guy in and have him put wall-to-wall carpeting on my countertop. I carpet tile to dampen the sound.
Hang on, guys.
Holy ass! He's had too much barbecue sauce. He's speaking in it's not making any sense anymore.
Sorry, guys. I can't go out there. I'm vacuuming my desk.
Anyway, it's okay. What game is it time for?
It's true or false time.
Oh, okay.
True or false, true or false, true or false, true or false. It's time to play true or false.
All right.
Barbecue sauce tastes so sweet. It's so gross right now.
True or false, barbecue sauce. All right. What week is this? Is this week 13 or 14? I never
I don't know.
Well, the Packers are 9-3, and they've had a bye. So
Okay. This is 14.
14. 14. Yeah, that still doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't do anything for me. So you need to tell me.
Is it 14?
It doesn't really matter. It's all.
I mean,
okay. You say tomato. I'll say potato. Question 1, Chris. I'm going to start with you.
Mm-hmm.
One McRib has 80 milligrams cholesterol.
Oh no!
True or false? Against the Lions, the Packers will rush for at least one McRib's worth of cholesterol in one half.
What the hell is that noise?
Okay, what does that mean? Oh boy.
So the Packers will rush for 80 yards in at least one half. That's
that's a lot of yards, isn't it?
It is, but I wrote the question, I guess, under the influence.
False.
Okay. James.
False.
Oh shoot, I'm writing this on the wrong spot because okay.
False.
We're all gonna say false on this. And I'm only saying false as well because that way I can stall while I open up my notes so I can record this.
The last word was false. Why?
Question number 2. McRibs contain about 14 grams of saturated fat. That's
Oh, we did it! We did it!
We did it! We did it!
We did it! The 3 of us did it!
We are the champions. Mostly us.
Kevin, have you ever imagined we could do this?
James, I'm so proud of me and you. Chris, you okay over there?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm actually surprised. That was easier than it should have been. The problem was the nausea from the flavor. After the fourth one, guess what? The bloom is off the rose.
All right. Question number 2. 2 McRibs contain about 14 grams total saturated fat. True or false? Against the Lions, the Packers will score at least 2 McRibs saturated fat worth of points in one quarter. So they're going to have one quarter where they score 14 points is what I'm asking.
I just love the question so much. I have to say true.
James, what about you?
I feel optimistic. Yeah, I'll say true.
All right, so we're all going to say true on this one. Why not? They've done it before. They score 14 lots.
What if oh my God, what if my heart's racing a little bit? Is that bad?
It's fine.
Just calm down. Just take a deep breath. Eat a McRib. Question 3. 3 McRibs contain about 66 grams total fat. True or false? Against the Lions, Robert Tonyan will record at least 3 McRibs worth of receiving yards.
What was the number again?
Okay, so 66 yards. At least 66 yards for Tonyan.
That's a lot. I'm going to say false.
James, what about you?
You know what? I feel good about Tonyan. I'm going to say true.
Yeah, I mean, it really only takes one big reception and a couple of smaller ones and then one medium one. Like putting together an ice hockey lineup from the mid-90s video game for Nintendo. I'm going to say true because why? I mean, who cares? Like, I didn't even record the scores from last week yet, so who cares? I have them. I just haven't recorded them yet. Question number 4. 4 McRibs contain about 48 grams sugars total. True or false? Against the Lions, the Packers' longest play from scrimmage will be at least 4 McRibs worth of sugar. So the longest play of at least 48 yards.
True.
James, what about you?
I will also say true.
I'm going to say false just to make it a little bit different. No real explanation there other than just to mix it up a little bit. Question 5. 5 McRibs will provide you, Chris, this is actually good news for you. 5 McRibs will provide you with 100% of your daily iron needs.
Yes. I wondered why I felt. I didn't feel as anemic now as I did an hour ago.
True or false? Aaron Jones will have a 5 McRib day and record 100 rushing yards.
5 McRib. How can I not say true to a 5 McRib day? Yes, he will. Aaron Jones and I will finally have something in common. A 5 McRib day. Eddie Lacy and I have that in common, but not Aaron Jones.
That's true. James, what do you think?
I'll say false.
You're gonna say false, really? Okay.
I feel like he got his 100 yards this past week. And
Oh Christ!
No, it's fine. Hey, there's got to be some variety, otherwise we'll have the same score. So that's great. Good. That's the last question. Beauty.
Oh, so
True or false is now over.
I'm guessing no Rocket League tonight.
Hands on the hood.
Rocket League tonight.
there's going to be Rocket League tonight. It just won't be on an Xbox.
I am playing Rocket League. Oh, boy. All right, what's the spread? Did anyone write it down?
7.5.
Packers 7.5.
That's a lot of points. I'll take the Packers.
James, what about you?
You know me. I'm taking the Lions.
I'm taking the Packers. That's it.
Sound off's over. I mean,
No.
sound off's just started.
Yeah, sound off is done.
Sound off.
My sound off. Don't eat 5 McRibs. It is fitting. That's it. That's the tweet.
For my sound off, I would like to read this recipe
Ooh.
for
Oh,
seared
God.
steak with demi reduction.
I love Demi Reduction. She is a beautiful songstress.
Prep 1. Adjust rack to top position. And preheat oven 400. How long you guys can only do this?
I'm interested. I like Demi.
Wash and dry all produce. Trim. Cut carrots on a diagonal. Okay.
I think you should have gone with when I was a young girl, I would go to Connecticut and visit my grandma. You need about 3 leading paragraphs before you get to the actual.
Yeah, and you guys have to scroll. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
Pop-up ad.
What are we calling this
Let me
episode?
do it again. I'll do it again. How about that?
All right, whatever. I'm posting the episode. Wait, I don't think I can post it till we're done.
You have to be finished.
If you're not watching this on YouTube, Chris looks like he looks like he just got out of a sauna, but instead of steam, it was barbecue sauce.
Chris,
Oh,
what do you want on your tombstone?
Because I'll puke. I will never. Oh, James, what's your sound?
My sound off is David Bakhtiari ran 16.75 miles an hour on that Aaron Jones touchdown run, and that's pretty freaking.
Did he really?
He did. Next gen stats had him at 16.75 miles an hour. If you added up every single time I've ever ran in my whole entire life, all the miles, it would not equal 16.75 miles an hour. So that's awesome. Love you 69.
Kev, what do you got? Anything?
I think we can all agree with James on that one.
All right.
Always a big fan of 69.
I'm going to take the liberty of ending the show a minute and a half early. James, what word should people tweet at us?
Angina.
Angina.
That's heart pain, in case you don't know what that is.
Oh, that's not nearly as cool as I thought.
Okay, fine. Mangina.
Any word that ends in angina.
It can be mangina, pangina, angina.
I went to school with Vangina.
Institute LLC. Copyright 2019.
20.
All rights reserved. Don't steal our crap.
Good night.